Thursday, June 18. On Thursday, June 18, 2020, I will be introducing a new subject we will be exploring titled Heritage versus Concept. Heritage versus Concept. It's a life-changing teaching. It's a life-changing teaching. So I just want to use this time out to call your attention to our discipleship training program on June 18, 2020, this coming Thursday. You don't want to miss it. It's going to change your life. Let me just quickly give us a brief knowledge of what we will be exploring this coming Thursday. The subject of heritage is something that we have lost our hold of as it regards to many charismatic and Pentecostal church setting, because a large chunk of the things I was taught as a Christian boy who grew up in the local church was Greco-Roman concepts. We were taught to begin a study of the scriptures from the New Testament. I began the study of the scriptures from the New Testament. So that led me to gain knowledge of biblical concepts. The biblical concept I had knowledge of was devoid of its heritage, because you cannot separate the Old Testament from the New Testament. If your faith in Yeshua or in Jesus is built upon New Testament Pauline teaching, you're going to lose the value of a rich biblical heritage. So your spiritual journey becomes a struggle. It's a struggle to grow in faith, a struggle to walk in the Spirit, a struggle to walk in faith, a struggle to believe. You spend your Christian walk struggling. You will have the mental knowledge of truth, but you never gain the spiritual heart transformation, because you don't begin a book from the middle. To understand the scriptures, we must revert back to the Old Testament. We've got to have a rich, comprehensive knowledge of the Old Testament. We must understand the power of the Tanakh. We must understand the powerful, precious gift of the Torah. So unfortunately, beginning the study of scriptures from the New Testament, we cause you to have knowledge of concept. The concept you have knowledge of will be built on Greco-Roman ideas, but you miss out on the Hebrew root knowledge of your heritage. That is why this Thursday you can't afford to miss this discipleship training. It's going to blow your mind. The things will be uncoupling. Let me show you a few passages of scriptures. First in Jude chapter 1 verse 3. Jude 1:3. Dear friends, although I was very eager to write to you about the salvation we share. Now Jude is writing to the saints. He's telling them, saints, although I was very eager to write to you about the salvation we share, I felt compelled to write and urge you to contend for the faith that was once for all entrusted to God's holy people. He's writing to the saints and he's telling them, hey guys, hold on, I was so excited to share with you about the salvation we share, but there's more. The salvation we share, if it's built upon Greco-Roman idea, you'll miss out on the roots of the heritage of this salvation. You'll miss out on the ancient part. You'll lose the roots, the understanding of where we are coming from. So he's telling the saints, I felt compelled to write and urge you to contend for the faith that was once for all entrusted to God's holy people. This is faith as an heritage. This faith did not just begin in the New Testament. This faith began as an heritage right from the Old Testament. We've shown how the patriarch, our ancestral fathers, walked this path of faith, and how now we are called to walk the same path. Like Paul's right, telling us, I serve the Lord like my ancestors did night and day. I serve Jehovah like my ancestors did. He's speaking about the patriarch. Faith as an heritage. The faith we've been called to walk is not an American faith. It's not an African faith. This faith is rooted in the Hebrew root understanding. You need to understand this. Yeshua was not American, he is not African, so you can't serve Yeshua or serve Jehovah in an African way. You can't serve God in the American way. You've got to understand that the service of God has to be done in the way Jehovah wants us to serve, to worship and to know him. So this faith is our heritage. The danger is this, saints. If you lose the grasp of faith as an heritage, you will build your faith on a concept. And that means that you will struggle through your journey in life, or your spiritual walk become mechanical. You're trying to get faith. You're trying to get love. You're trying to walk with God. But no, you're not supposed to struggle to walk with God, because this journey is our heritage. Now, in 2 Corinthians 4 verse 13, Paul writes telling us we have the same spirit of faith, according as it is written, I believe and therefore have spoken. We also believe and therefore speak. So we have the same spirit of faith, the same spirit of faith, the same faith heritage. We have the same spirit of faith. I'll show you something else here. Heritage is an inheritance. In Messiah, we've regained our heritage. In Messiah, we've regained our heritage. We've just got to build upon this heritage. We've got to build upon this heritage. We have an inherited faith. We have an inherited faith. We have an inherited faith. Faith inherited. Acts 3. Amazing scriptures. Acts 3. Acts 3 verse 24. Indeed, beginning with Samuel. You see, beginning with Samuel. Peter is right. Peter is speaking here. He tells us beginning with Samuel. We need to understand where to begin from. You don't begin to build your biblical theology from the New Testament. You begin to build your biblical theology from the Old Testament. So to strengthen his point, Peter tells us beginning with Samuel and all the prophets who have spoken have foretold these days. The days and the time we live in have been foretold by the prophets, by all the prophets. It has been foretold. Acts 3:25. And you are heirs. See the word, you are heirs. You are heirs. You are heirs. You've inherited this. This is your inheritance. It's a faith heritage. We are heirs. Acts 3:25. And you are heirs of the prophet and of the covenant God made with our fathers. You are heirs of the prophet and of the covenant. Heritage. Recovering our heritage. We are not struggling to embrace something new. It is something in a walk of faith that has been that we are heirs of the prophets and of the covenant God made with our fathers. He said to Abraham, through your offspring, all peoples on earth will be blessed. 26. When God raised up his servant, he first sent him to you to bless you by turning each of you from your wicked ways. Hallelujah. We are heirs of the prophet and the covenant Elohim made with Abraham. We are heirs of that covenant. We are because of what God promised. So our faith is an heritage. So understanding who we are, where we're coming from, our ancestors of faith, our root of faith. We have example in scriptures of our roots. Hebrews 12 calls them cloud of witnesses. We are surrounded by a cloud of witnesses. Men and women who have given us a baton to run. The Bible tells us in Hebrews 11. Apart from us, oh hallelujah, apart from us, they cannot be perfected. It is together with us and the patriarch that their faith is made perfect. Awesome word, incredible. This part is an heritage. Is our heritage, is our heritage. We are walking on a part of the divine heritage. So saints, join me on June 8th, Thursday, for a discipleship program, and I will take you through faith as an heritage. And so we will be demystifying and overcoming the error of understanding the scriptures through Greco-Roman concepts. We will understand who we are, where are we from, what is our destiny, and what is our history. When we know our history, then we will fulfill our destiny. Join me, saints. I look forward to seeing you Thursday, 5 p.m., June 18th, discipleship training program. You can afford.